The conversation around Africa's potential to become a global green hydrogen hub is gaining momentum. And of course, in this conversation with CNBC, which is actually an exclusive, Tyrian Chebet speaks to Hussain AlNowais, who's the chairman of UAE-based AMEA Power with a $5 billion power initiative in Africa. For more, let's take a look.
The continent is blessed with natural resources. They have very good wind, they have very good solar radiation, which can, and they have also geothermal in some of the African countries. All are renewable sources which can help the continent to develop major projects in the power sector, to help Africa economies grow, to give comfort to the people of Africa by having the necessity of power. These resources need investment, need major investment, need a proper regulatory framework which can encourage the foreign investor that this is a comfort area to come and invest in. Require also a reaction from the authorities and the different stakeholders involved in the decision-making process to work together. As they say in English, it takes two to tango. The investors are keen on Africa. I see that from this event. I saw it previously in other forums. They are keen to come to Africa. Their major complaints, things are very slow, which is true. We are present in 17 African countries. We have developed many projects, West Africa, North Africa, East Africa, and Southern Africa. So we subscribe to that statement that things are slow. It takes an important policy to say we will get things done quickly. We have a life example. I'm proud, very much proud of this example. Let's take Togo. Togo is a small country in West Africa with keenness on bringing power to their people. We developed a solar power project in record time, from A to Z. The first day where we discussed our intention to invest into Togo to the day we completed the project, less than 18 months. Why? We took a decision to move fast, but we were also supported by the administration, by the president, by his team, to help us move fast and accelerate the process. And at the end of the day, we have today the largest renewable solar power plant in West Africa, operating in Togo. Why not to do this in more countries? We can do this in more countries. We are actively pursuing several opportunities in several countries. Okay. We just need the other party to accelerate.
There has been a lot of conversations around green hydrogen during the Africa Climate Summit. What could you say is the potential for Africa to become a global green hydrogen hub, and what do you think it will take for Africa to get there?
I totally agree. The green hydrogen is a future. We as a company have embarked on a strategy for development of the green hydrogen. We have signed our first green hydrogen in Egypt. It is advancing very well. And to do a green hydrogen, you need a good source of green power. Wind and solar are important to be able to develop the green hydrogen. You need battery storage, and by the way, that is another important sector we in AMEA Power are pursuing, is the development of the battery storage system. And when you have too many projects in renewable, it creates some intermittency with the grid. What happened in Kenya 2 weeks ago was an example of that. So you need to stabilize the grid by introducing battery storage system. You can also use the battery storage system to prolong the number of hours of power. You store solar power during the day or wind power, and then you release it at the time where there is no solar radiation or no power. The green hydrogen is an area of growth and an important area of growth for Africa, because you are blessed with the resources. You need, what do you need? You need green power, you need a good regulatory framework for the green hydrogen, you need a port, because at the end of the day, you will export the end product to the world. So you need to have access to a good infrastructure and a good port.
Could you tell us a little bit about the gaps in climate finance and how they're affecting progress in Africa, and particularly how the $5 billion AMEA Power initiative aims to address some of these challenges? And are there some financial models that are suitable for the continent?
You know, finance is available. Finance is available for a good bankable projects. And I underline that. Lenders or investors are careful in deploying their money. They need to see the right framework, the right protection of their money. They are concerned about the currency fluctuation in the country. Therefore, developers will always ask to price the PPA in a currency of convertibility, be it dollar, be it euro. Convertibility is very important. There is money available, banks and investors. You just need to give them the comfort. Countries need to give them the comfort that when they invest, their investment is protected, that their payment is made on time, and it's made on a convertible currency.
Mm-hmm. Still within financing, could you tell us a little bit more details about the UAE Finance Initiative, including how it's structured and the potential outcomes?
Sure. The leadership of the UAE saw the energy gaps of Africa and decided on this initiative, which is composed of the players like AMEA Power, like Masdar, who's a government-owned renewable platform, like Abu Dhabi Fund, who is a development organization, support third world, and incidentally, the project I mentioned earlier in Togo was supported and funded by Abu Dhabi Fund, together with West African Development Bank. So this initiative of Abu Dhabi Fund, Masdar, AMEA, and Emirates Credit Insurance. Again, coming back to the statement I made earlier, investors need to ensure they are protected. So this organization is encouraging the investor, go to Africa, invest. We will be responsible as an credit insurance institution, part of the UAE federal government, to protect your investment. So this initiative is launched by His Excellency Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber, the COP28 designated president, to support Africa, realizing the need. You mentioned earlier about the $70 billion. I mean, Africa today is only 2% of the world energy. It's a low number. Africa needs power. I've been in villages and cities in Africa where it's dark. So this initiative and other initiatives, I encourage more institutions in the world to take such initiative like the one UAE government took. Africa is in need of power. For Africa to grow, for kids to go to school, for people to go to clinics, they need power. For people to live comfortably, they need power. We support that approach, and hence our commitment in AMEA Power to develop more megawatt. We have committed to mobilize $5 billion to this initiative. When I say mobilize, I mean our investment, the debt provided by others, and perhaps co-investments in the different African countries in this continent.
As we close our conversation, tell us, as AMEA prepares to participate in COP28, what are some of your expectations from the Africa Climate Summit?
I'm proud that COP28 is hosted by the United Arab Emirates this year. I know that our government is putting an extraordinary efforts to make it a showcase of a great success. We in UAE are proud that we have given the world the Expo. It was a phenomenal success. COP28 will be equally successful. And COP28 will be a good platform for government officials from the continent, from Africa, to communicate with large investors, with multilateral institutions who will be coming to the COP28, and try to encourage them, and by facilitating their entry into the energy domain of Africa.